Lakers at Celtics, Thursday night TNT. Marco, this got to take you back to your 30s, when in the mid-'80s, where this was a big series, right?
Yeah, what a guy, what a guy.
Who do you like and why?
All right, we're going to look at this game. I like the Lakers in this game, and there's a couple reasons why. First off, quick revenge game. You know, these are two teams that play in opposite conferences, so they only play twice a year, and it's not that often that you get the revenge right back so quick. They played on January 30th, and that wasn't just your ordinary revenge game, because actually for Boston, it was their revenge game in the first meeting from last year's.
At the same site they lost Game 7.
Absolutely. So as hard as this is going to believe, the next statement that I'm going to say to you is Boston could actually be looking past the LA Lakers on Thursday night. I know
Larry Bird would not allow that. Oh, wait. No.
It sounds ludicrous, but really in the last 3 home games, Boston played on Sunday, Orlando, big game for, you know, the Eastern Conference, and their next home game, even bigger, the Miami Heat. So this is a sandwich game. So have you ever seen the Lakers be the meat?
The Heat game is at home for Boston?
The Heat game's at home also. The Lakers to be the meat of a sandwich situation.
Okay, I don't like this one as much. I really liked your Syracuse on Wednesday. Let me start maybe giving you some food for thought.
All right. Then we can maybe make a bet at the end.
Oh, geez.
Because those always work out well.
In the NBA, when you have a Sunday home game, and then you have Monday off, Tuesday off, Wednesday off, then a Thursday home game, that's a rare time with 3 days off, especially when there's no traveling involved.
Let me just jump in. Boston did play on Monday night. After the home game to Orlando, they went on the road to play Charlotte.
Okay, then that completely changes it. My quick rationale was going to be that's a chance to practice, to put in a few sets for specifically the next opponent, but having to travel, that changes that a little bit. So let's forget that for a minute. How do you handle the Lakers being a little frazzled right now? The talk of just today on Tuesday, I was hearing about Carmelo Anthony for Bynum was the big talk. Clearly, you've got Magic Johnson saying maybe a trade's going to shake things up. I mean, these are the 2-time defending world champions, almost seemingly panicking a little bit. On one hand, you could say that's going to make them more focused, but you could have said the same thing when they tried to have a statement, like you said, just 10 days ago when they got beat at the Heat at home. It just seems like every big game this team has fallen, or not every big game, but many of them. Now, the Spurs just went in there and beat them. So, I mean, what about this team gives you confidence?
Well, one thing that I like, and we've discussed this on a different podcast before, and we disagreed, so I'm sure we're going to disagree again. But honestly, the best thing that could happen to L.A. right now is what is happening. They're away from L.A. They're on the middle of, this is the 3rd stop of a 7-game road trip. Get away from L.A., get away from the media in your face in L.A., listening to the local talk shows about what's wrong with the Lakers every day, and just, go on the road, do what you're supposed to do. And they've won the first 2 games of this road trip. So this will be the 3rd game. I like this situation. I like the Lakers here. It's almost now, to me, I think with Kobe Bryant, the body language I'm getting from him is, you're challenging us. Everybody's questioning what's wrong with us, and you said it. This is a team that's 2-time defending champions, and everybody's like, what's wrong with them?
But it's not just everybody. It'd be one thing if it were the public or the media asking these questions, but it seems like it's Jerry West, it's Magic Johnson, it's press reports that they're talking about big trades. So I agree with you. If they're there saying we're going to work our plan, we trust our plan, and Phil Jackson, the Zen master, I would totally agree. But it seems like they're the ones reacting, which is probably a sign potentially there really is something internally wrong.
Well,
what's the line?
The line on I'm projecting, we don't have a line since this is on
What are you
Tuesday.
putting the number at?
I'm putting the number that Boston's going to come out -3.5 in this game.
Okay, I agree. Oh, wait a second. I disagree. I was thinking that seems short. 3.5, you like the Lakers.
Yeah.
And what do you give a home field in the NBA?
In the
home
NBA,
court.
I'm going to give it probably 4.
So this is the Lakers are a better team.
On a neutral court 100 times, what Vegas would bring it out at, yes. Vegas would bring the Lakers out as a favorite on a neutral
Now
court.
let me ask you this. I think this line's coming out of 4.5 or 5. Assuming I'm right, does that change your opinion?
If they bring that line out that high, I would be a little bit leery of it coming. Seeing the Lakers in that kind of number. And remember, this is going to be on TNT, so it's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a tight line. I would be shocked if it came that high. If it did, I would have some problems with it.
Now this is interesting. This gets to the heart of the way you handicap.
Right.
Which is you're saying, I love it at plus 3.5, but a plus 5, no.
Explain that. Because to me, in John Q. Public's eye, if this line does come out at 5, they're going to look and say, oh my God, I can get the Lakers and Kobe Bryant plus 5 points. I don't care what happens. They're not going to get blown out in this game. It's going to be a game that's going to go to the wire, and they're going to want to take the dog, and I wouldn't want any part of it. It would look too easy to me to take the Lakers at that big of a number.
All right, well, so we're going to put out a kind of a conditional bet here. If it opens up at 4 or less, you like the Lakers. 4.5 or more, you don't.
And what I will do is I will send out a tweet. Be sure to check, our Twitter accounts and that, and I'll put it through the forums.
What's your Twitter account, Marco?
Marco in Las Vegas.
Marco in Vegas.
In Vegas, okay. All right. I know where I'm at.
It's Twitter, Marco in Vegas.
Okay.
Do you know mine?
RJ in Vegas.
There we go. All right, so what's your official projection?
I like the Lakers to win this game outright. 92-89, I think it'll be a defensive battle. If this, I'll give a sidebar. If this total comes out anywhere 190, as long as we're 190 or more, even to go 189, I like the under in this game. I think there's value there. The first game was a high-scoring game in L.A., but the complexion of that game, Boston had been playing a bunch of games in a short period of time. I think they played 3 games in 4 nights, and so you have a tendency for a higher scoring game because less defense when a tired team.
All right, I'm going to speak directly to the audience for a second, because if you're a first-time watcher, you're going to think, wait, this guy doesn't know. Just because he's in a suit doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about. And I totally get where you're coming from. But I got to tell you, 31 years since this guy worked a straight job. That's all you need to know. He does have, and I think really he's probably the #1 authority I've ever met when it comes to the trap games, when it comes to understanding what the odds makers are attempting to induce you to do and doing the opposite. So he and I always joke about it, but there is a rhyme to there is a reason to this rhyme, I guess you'd say it, and it really is the idea that if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. And if you keep watching the videos, if you're new, Marco will explain this again and again because I always pound him on it, but it always holds up. So good job, Marco.
I wish a little quick story for our viewers. I wish you could have seen the first time I ever explained that concept to RJ at Bally's Sportsbook the first time we met in Vegas. And he just looked at me like, huh?
I got to be honest, still doesn't make a lot of sense. But I've seen the results.
You've seen the results.
That's all I need to see.
Speaking of results, before we leave, and I'll let you wait for Saturday.
Are we a little short? That's on time?
No, I think we got plenty of time. How did our prop bet go that we bet last week?
Well, it's just amazing. I can tell, it's funny because, Bob Dylan has a song that says, you got to serve somebody. He says, it might be the devil, it might be the Lord, but you've got to serve somebody. Well, you've got money or the Steelers, and somehow you've got this big grin on your face that the Steelers gave up the defensive touchdown that actually lost their 7th Super Bowl, but because you won $300 against me, somehow you're excited.
Do you remember the movie with
You love money more than anything.
Eddie Murphy and I think it was Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, Trading Places.
Where they ruined a guy's life for $1 bet. It was just the principle of the dollar bet.
So if I gave you $1, you'd be just as happy?
No, but it's just the point of me winning a bet with you that it is very enjoyable.
All right, guys, we've done 3 videos midweek here. We're going to be doing them twice a week during basketball, Tuesday night and Friday night. And the Tuesdays are going to touch on Wednesday, Thursday games. The Fridays are going to touch on Saturday, Sunday games. We'll be back Friday night. See you then.